Hello everyone, this is Suresh from Azure ADB. Today our topic is one of the interview question, how to find common records between two tables. So first we'll see what are the different ways we have to find common records between two tables. So first method is by using inner join, and second one is by using intersect, and third one using in with subquery, and fourth one is using exist. So first we'll see what is our two tables. So I created first table, so employee table, and I have total 3 columns in this, and I have insert script here. So if I create table, so my employee table underscore design, this having total 3 columns, employee ID, employee name, and employee salary. And my one more table is employee table underscore deal. So this also I have 3 columns, and I have here insert script with 2 rows. And if I try to create this table, so it looks like this. So now I have two tables with me. So now I want to find common records between these two tables. So first I'm going with intersect method. So what intersect is, so it will exactly match the same columns. So what it does is it extract full row match. So that means entire row, one first table of one particular row, entire row should match with other table of entire row. So this returns rows that exist in both tables with matching values in all selected columns. So here what I'm doing, I'm writing select star from table, employee table design. This is my first table, and this is my second table, and in between I'm using intersect. So if we use this, we'll get this one. So this is common records. And if you see how it works, so our first method is intersect method. So I have two tables. This is one table and this is second table. And here what I'm doing, select star from employee underscore table underscore design. So that means this one, this whole records, and I'm doing intersect with this entire table. So now what intersect will do is it will check for common records between these two tables. So suppose since I mentioned select a star, it will check for all the columns. So that means this entire row should match with uh, other table of with other table. Suppose if you see here ELX 001 Naresh 20,000, and if you see same thing is matching here. See here, same record is matching. And if you check with this one ELX 002, so here we don't have that particular row. So next, if you go for this one, ELX 003, Rahul 29,000. See, this is exactly matching. So by using intersect, so we can able to get the common records between these two tables. So what is this common records? So whatever I highlighted, no, ELX 001, ELX 003. So this is one method, and second method is by using inner join. So inner join, what it does is it best for common key matching. Use this when you are matching rows based on one or more keys or IDs, not full row content. So intersect, what it does is it selects all the columns. That means entire row. So inner join, when we have to use is if you have, you can say primary key. So if you have common key between two tables, so that primary key, you can use it to check the matching rows between two tables. So this primary key, so depends on table, it varies. So maybe one table will have uh, single primary key. So some tables will be having multiple primary keys. That is. And inner join, it won't check for full row content. So here I'm writing inner join query. So what I'm doing is select, if you see from employee table underscore design, that is my first table. So I given alias E, and from E table, I'm selecting all the columns, employee ID, employee name, employee salary. And I'm doing inner join with second table, employee table underscore deal, that I given alias D. And I am using on condition on primary keys. So from employee table, employee underscore ID is the primary key, and for deal table, employee underscore ID is the primary key. So I'm doing inner join based on this primary key. So then I will get common records of this one. So we'll see how it works with in detail here. So second one is inner join. So same table I'm using here. This is first table, this is second table. And what inner join does is based on employee underscore ID column. So here also we have employee underscore ID. Here also we have employee underscore ID. So it will check only this particular column only. So now what it does is first it will check for this record ELX001. It checks with employee underscore ID column of table 2. So here we have matching record ELX001. So that it prints here ELX001, and that entire row it will select. Why? Because I selected in select statement I given all the columns employee underscore ID, employee underscore name, employee underscore salary. Next it will check for second record ELX002. So this record we don't have in this particular column. Then it will ignore this one. Next third one ELX003. And if you check here, we have a record here. That means matching record, it is there. Then it will print this one, ELX003, Rahul 29,000. So this way, it will get common records by using inner join. Next, we'll go for other method. Our third method is by using subquery. So in function, what it does is it will compare with only one column, and it is good for checking common values in a single column. So I will explain in detail what it means. So here what I'm doing, select employee underscore ID. This is my primary key from first table, and I'm filtering where condition, and my primary key in second table. So select employee ID from employee table underscore deal. So from this table, I'm checking employee underscore ID in this particular table, whether it is there or not. So then it will give me what are the records, common records between table 1 and table 2. So since I selected only employee underscore ID, it giving only one column. So now we'll see here in detail how it works in function. So in with subquery. So here select employee underscore ID. So here I'm selecting only my first column, primary key column from this first table, employee table design. So this is my first table where, so this table I'm filtering with where condition where employee underscore ID. So this employee underscore ID in select employee underscore ID from employee table deal. That means this table. So select employee ID. So that means from here, it's selecting this particular column. And this particular column, so that is this one. If you see this select query output is this one. Employee underscore ID, ELX001, ELX003. So this column is the output of this select query. So that's why I mentioned here output of inner query. And whatever this highlighted, that is our inner query. and whatever here outside is there, that is our outer query. So inner query under outer query combined with in. So now what it does is, so now we have result this one, ELX001, ELX003. So now what it does is, first this element will go and check in this table. So that means this function runs only once. It runs only once and give you output this one, these two records. So now what it does is, this record will compare with every record of this row, employee underscore ID row. So why? Because select employee underscore ID from this particular table. From this table, I want to check. So first ELX001, first I'm comparing with first record. See here ELX001, so it is matching. So since it is matching, it will print this one, ELX001. And ELX001, we have only one record and we don't have any other matching records. Next, it will go for ELX003. So it will check one by one. So here we have matching record, ELX003. It is matching record is there. Then it will print this record. So finally, our output will generate this one, employee underscore ID, these two records. So that means the common records between these two tables based on this primary key is these two records. So next we'll go for other method. So our final method is by using exist. So before that, here comparing one column. See here in function, so we are comparing with only one column. So one column is this one. So by using this select query, we are getting only one column. Okay, so that is the meaning, comparing one column, and good for checking common values in a single column. Because whenever you use in function, we'll get records. That means single column records. So next we'll go for exist method. So that is our final method. So exist, what it does is, so mainly we'll use for large data sets. So maximum cases in we can try to avoid. So in when we can use it, if our table don't have any nulls, then we can use it. If you have any nulls in your table, then better option to use exist when compared to in function. And this is mainly useful for large data sets. So here the difference is only exist. See here earlier, while in function, see select star from table 1, where exist, and I given select statement here. And in select statement, what we have to do is T1. T1 means this table 1. Table 1 of employee ID is equal to table 2 of employee underscore ID. So this you can say correlated subquery. So exist, we always use this correlated subquery. So why this is correlated subqueries? See, this is T1 is outside. Okay, that is in outer query. So outer query column we are using inside inner query. So now we'll see how it works, this exist. So if you see here, so first we have this inner query. So first we'll see what inner query will generate. So normally whenever you use exist, always inner query generates either true or false Boolean values. Okay, that we have to keep in mind. So then we'll see how we are getting true here. Output of inner query is true. So how we are getting, we'll see here. So this is our first table, this is our second table. So what it doing is select star from table design. So table design means this one. From this table, we are filtering by using exist. So exist means exist and this one. So if it is true, then we can select this record. And if it is false, then we have to ignore that particular record. So first what you are doing, so how it becoming true is, first we are checking record to record. See from table 1, ELX 001. So this one we are comparing with all the records of table 2. So ELX 001. So this record I am comparing with each and every record of table 2. So ELX 001 is equal to ELX 001. Yes, this is equal. So I mentioned true. So when true comes here, when your output comes true, then this record will get print ELX 001. Next, see when first iteration, that means by using first record, it checked all the records, and since we got true, then this record is printed here. Next, we'll check with second record. So here what I'm doing, I'm checking with second record of first table. So ELX 002, I am comparing with each and every record. See here, there is no matching here. So there is no matching, so we are getting false. So since our inner query result is false, so it won't print any row here. Our output is empty. So next we'll go for next record, final record. So ELX 003, this record, we are comparing with each and every record of table 2. So ELX 003 is equal to this one, false. Next ELX 003 is equal to ELX 003. So that means true, it is matching. So now our inner query output is true. That means we are going to print this record here. See here, ELX 003, Rahul 29,000. So in exist, here I have only 3 records. Suppose I assume that we have 10 records here in this, and you assume that here we have total 15 records. So then what will happen is, first record of first table will compare with all 15 records of table 2. If any matching is there, those records it will print here. If there is no matching, it won't print here. So similar way, it will check with second row, second record with all 15 records of table 2. If any matching is there, it will print. If there is no matching, it won't print. Then third record of table 1 compares with all records of 15 records of table 2. If any matching is there, it will print, otherwise it won't print. So it will go so on until 10th record. So like this, exist will work to get the common records. Yeah, so since I mentioned select star, so select star means I want to print all the columns here. So that's why I'm getting all the columns from employee table underscore design. So from this table, I want to print all the columns, but to see here, finally we are getting only 2 records. Total we have 3 records. From this we are getting only 2 records because we have only 2 common records between these 2 tables. And why I used here 1? If you see here in inner query, I mentioned select 1. So why I used 1? So this is just a placeholder value. So it doesn't matter what you select inside an exist class. So SQL only checks whether any row exists. So you can select any of these 4. So wherever select 1 is there here, whatever I written select 1 here, no. So we can write in these four ways. Either you can use select star, or you can use select employee underscore ID. Any column you can select it, or simply you can write select X or select one. So all will behave same way. That means we have exactly the same way. So here we can see summary. So use cases intersect when we have to do is if you want to match full row match. So entire row you want to match with between two tables, then you can use it. And this intersect supports in PostgreSQL and SQL Server. So when we have to use inner join is so common rows between key column. That means between our primary keys to get the common records, common rows. So and this inner join supports all SQL databases. Next in. So common values in one column. It is supports for all the SQL databases. Then exist. So exist check for performance. So as I already told, so exist we can use for whenever we are dealing with large data sets, or if you have any nulls in our table. So instead of in, we better option to use exist. So that's all about this video. So how to get common records between two tables by using these four different methods. So if you really like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.